Um, I grew up in Chicago, but I lived in Baltimore for a bunch of years, and that's when I kind of started playing music. And then when I moved to London, wait, can we start again? Sorry, I got distracted. Yeah. I didn't start thinking about making an album until I moved to London, and I was surrounded by so many different musicians. I started playing music in Chicago, and then I moved to Baltimore, and I started playing bands here and there, but I really never thought about putting an album together. And then I moved to London, and I was surrounded by so many musicians and kind of just really inspired what they were doing and playing live shows. And then I just kind of slowly started to try to put songs together. And at first I didn't even know if I could even finish one whole song. And and then as soon as I started one, they all just kind of started to develop, and then an album eventually just came together really naturally. I don't think I ever really planned for it to happen, it just kind of all came together. Well, I chose Until because the first song I wrote for the album was Until, one of the songs on the record. And I think for me, a lot of the album was about like trying to figure out when I was going to get to some other place in my life, like when I was going to be able to kind of finish a creative project that I really wanted to, or like follow a dream I really wanted. And so I think the idea behind Until was like, until I get to do this, I'm going to be in that kind of middle space. So I think a lot of the songs reflected that idea. It was actually good because some of my songs, actually, when you play them live, are actually not so intimate. They're a bit bigger and a bit heavier sounding. So it was nice to do. And I also played festivals where they're used to kind of more intimate music, so I could do a little bit more intimate stuff. And I'm playing with a drummer now, and so we did a lot more kind of bigger sounding stuff. So it actually went quite well. And I think the idea of even playing to a crowd who might not necessarily listen to really intimate stuff, and they're all kind of chatting and talking. It's kind of, I think for me, being kind of new to the whole playing music live, it's kind of a good experience to kind of get out there and play your songs to people who might not be as receptive as if you were in a little intimate space. I think one of the goals I'm working on right now is trying to write a new record. So that's what I've been working on. And another thing that I really want to do is to be able to do a little tour, to go on tour either in the States or around Europe or in the UK. That's been kind of the next kind of goal. What I've noticed with the London music scene, at least the people I know, there isn't kind of this insane competitiveness, whereas I feel like the kind of more independent scene in the US is a little bit more competitive just because it's such a large country and people are all trying to be the next big thing. And I think with the London thing, people are kind of a little bit more inclusive, is what I've noticed. But I've only really played shows in England so far, so. But I mean, the scene in America is amazing as well. It's just such a big country. It's a little bit harder to kind of get around it.